What can you learn about world literature from reading every single one of 120 winners of the Nobel Prize for Literature? What can you learn about world history? What can you learn about life? Because reading history, reading literature, after all, that's what it's really for, isn't it? To help you get along with your life. And has there ever been anyone who can say they've read every single winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature? Certainly before I began this little challenge that I'm doing on the Burning Archive YouTube channel, I'm Jeff Rich. I only read about, 40 odd of the Nobel Prizes for the winners of the Nobel Prize for Literature. But by October this year, I plan to have read every single one of the 120 winners and show you how you can do it too. I'm doing all the details of this incredible literary challenge, Ultimate Book Lovers Challenge, over at my Substack, jeffrich.substack.com. And in this video, I'm going to kind of introduce you to all of those 7 winners and point to you how you can read those people for free through various internet resources, which are really easy to get to. Well, relatively easy to get to. The winners I'm looking at this time in this video is the next winner is even perhaps harder to get to. In the contemporary world, some of these early Nobel winners are really forgotten today, and I think that's probably the case for this chap. Carl Gjellerup from Denmark. He was the 1917 winner, but there were actually 2 1917 winners. Carl Gjellerup was perhaps the least interesting of them, but he was a poet from Denmark, 1857 to 1919, so he only just survived World War One. Fairly intense-looking eyes does Carl have there. And he also wrote novels, and although he was Danish and from Denmark, he largely lived in Germany, and he was sort of culturally identified with Germany. This was very much a feature of European culture in before 1914, even in the 1920s, I think, to some degree, even perhaps beyond into the 1930s, as we will see. Many parts of Europe that we don't see as Germany, obviously places like Austria and all that sort of stuff, felt part of the German world. Even some of the Scandinavian countries actually identified them. People within those countries identified themselves with Germanic culture, a lot of overlap in some of the mythology, overlap in the migrations, and this was the case with Gjellerup, and it didn't make him all that popular in Denmark. But he was again another early modernist who did various sort of literary experimentation. He's largely forgotten today, and he was by no means as significant a modernist contributor as some of the other authors that we will see along the way, including one of the more notorious winners of this particular set, the winner in 1920, who we'll get to shortly. But like Romain Rolland, Gjellerup was very interested in and influenced by Buddhism and Eastern cultures. He wrote a book here called, as you can see, The Pilgrim Caminita, a legendary romance. And you can see there the very first chapter, the Lord Buddha revisits the city of the 5 hills. It's actually the story of the Buddha, sort of Lord Buddha, Buddhism, retold for a Western audience. So that is our friend Carl Gjellerup.